1, 2, 3, 4, check testing. 1, 2. All right, I'm just going to run down all 12 microphones, so I'm starting at 12. We're good here. Mic 11, check. 1, 2, 3, 4. We good on 11? Mic 10, 1, 2, 3. Mic 10, 1, 2, 3. Mic 9, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I just heard that on 10. Check, test. Chest, test, test. Test, 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 test. 1, 2. Chest test. Mic 8, check testing. 1, 2, 3. 7, test. 1, 2, 3. I'll go back to 8. I'll finish this up. Mic check 6. Mic check on 6. A little ring there. Mic check on 6. Again. Still a little ring. Check, check. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Mic 5. Mic 5. Check test. 1, 2, 3. Check testing. 1, 2, 3. Mic 4. Mic 4 check. 1, 2, 3. Oh, God. Mic 3. 1, 2, 3. This one's definitely hot. 3. I'll pull that down a hair. Mic 2. Mic 2. And mic 1. Check testing. 1, 2. All right.
Look at you. What's with the answer? Good. Good.
I'm up, bingo, bango.
That's what you want, right?
I do want that, and I'm gonna grab my little stool.
Good evening. Welcome to the March 21st regular meeting of the Rockville Center Board of Education. Please rise for the pledge. Thank you. There are emergency exits in the back and either side in the front. Any correspondence that can be posted has been posted. Mr. Gavin, I'll turn it over to you for student recognition.
Thank you, President Barry. Once again, we are fortunate here in Rockville Center to have students that demonstrate excellence in the classrooms, on the fields, and on the courts, on the tracks, and in the swimming pool, and in the gymnasium. So I would like to introduce first and foremost Dr. Walsh, our high school principal, who will welcome and recognize our class valedictorian, salutatorian, and national merit finalist.
Thank you, Mr. Gavin, and thank you to the Board of Education and Central Administration for welcoming me tonight to have the opportunity to recognize three of the most outstanding students that we have here at Southside High School. Before I start speaking about these wonderful students, I'd just like to thank their families and parents for coming tonight. You have so much to be proud of. We are so proud of your children, and you've done a wonderful job with your children, and they've had such a wonderful career, so we look forward to recognizing them tonight. Every year, the National Merit Program recognizes outstanding graduating seniors across the country. They specifically look at students who have excelled in the following criteria: academic record, PSAT scores, a student essay, leadership and contributions to school and community activities, and the school's official written recommendation. Less than 1% of the nation's graduating seniors are named National Merit finalists. This year, Southside High School is proud to announce that one of our students have been named a National Merit finalist. Academically, this student is a stellar student with unparalleled discipline. Currently, she's working towards the completion of an IB diploma, where she opted to take the most challenging courses that we offer here at our school. In the classroom, teachers refer to her as the ultimate student, yet is humble enough that she still attends extra help every day. Another teacher commented, "It's like having a teaching assistant in the room. She posts notes, reminds everyone of deadlines, and asks questions others are afraid to ask, and creates answer sheets for class activities." She is also fascinated by science. This past summer, she traveled 2 hours daily to conduct research at the Stony Brook University Garcia Center. Now, every Saturday, she travels to Columbia University to participate in their Science Honors Program. In addition, her extracurricular resume is extensive. She participates in theater, Quiz Bowl, the Intergenerational Sharing Conference, and is the senior class treasurer. She excels in everything that she does, and we are so proud of her. Congratulations to Sophia Bracco for being named a National Merit finalist. The salutatorian of the class of 2024 is an exceptional student and leader in our school building. Teachers rely on her for insightful answers and thought-provoking questions. She also isn't afraid to lend a hand, as evidenced by her work as a tutor for middle school students. This student has incredible time management skills, as she successfully handles her schoolwork, 3 varsity sports, part-time jobs, tutoring, and volunteering at Camp Anchor and the Backyard Players. As the current president of her class and former vice president, she has taken on numerous leadership roles in the building and was an integral part of planning homecoming, the junior gala, and prom fundraisers. I still remember last year's junior carnival, which was one of the most unbelievable events we've hosted in a while, and the student had a big role in that. She also participates in many clubs such as DECA, Best Buddies, the Spanish Club, Debate Club, and Model UN. While we are sad to see this student graduate, we are all confident that she is exiting our school having made a lasting impact on so many of our programs and our staff. We know she's destined for greatness. Congratulations to the salutatorian of the class of 2024, Lucy Reardon. This year's valedictorian of the class of 2024 is a true class act. He is polite, self-motivated, passionate, athletic, and respectful to his classmates, coaches, and teachers. We have witnessed firsthand his work ethic and commitment to excellence in all that he does. He is a full IB diploma candidate, president of our DECA club, captain of our varsity lacrosse team, and a tenor saxophone player in our wind ensemble. Recently, this senior placed second in New York State in Human Resource Management at the DECA State Competition in Rochester. In addition, he is a member of the World Language, Math, Science, and Tri-M Honor Societies. He also was a starting defensive end on our Nassau County champion football team and is heavily involved in numerous service-based organizations in school and in our community. He is the complete package of what we hope to see in our student athletes here at Southside High School, and he will be greatly missed, but we know he is off to great things into the next chapter. Congratulations to the valedictorian of the class of 2024, Michael Muscarella. Congratulations to these wonderful students. I would ask that the three of you come up one last time. We're going to get one more picture up in front.
Hi, friend. Congratulations, guys.
On behalf of the board, we just want to say congratulations to Michael, Lucy, and Sophia, and it is Sophia's birthday as well this evening, so thank you. Happy birthday.
Are we singing?
Have at it, Mr.
I don't
Gavin.
think anyone wants that. I don't think anyone wants that. But again, this is just an example of the hard work. All three students are so dedicated to all the different activities that they pursue that it takes more than just study skills. It takes dedication, it takes perseverance, it takes hard work, it takes teamwork, and it takes the understanding that this is a goal that was 4 years in the making. So congratulations to all three of you. We're super proud of you, and we can't wait to see what comes next. So thank you to your parents, who I'm sure have driven you to 72 different activities, helped you plan a junior carnival at some point, and provided all the support you needed getting back and forth between practices and all the different things that you do. So we're truly honored to have them a part of our family, so thank you very much. We are also welcoming tonight Ms. Rosetto, who will be introducing some of our winter athletes that have won a plethora of awards. Ms. Rosetto.
Good evening, everybody. It is my pleasure to introduce this next group of student athletes and to honor them for their outstanding achievements during the 23-24 winter season. Before I begin speaking about their individual accomplishments, I am proud to once again announce that this winter, the boys and girls basketball, boys and girls winter track, boys swimming and diving, girls gymnastics, and the boys wrestling teams were all recognized by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association as Winter Scholar Athlete teams. I would also like to mention that girls basketball made it to the semifinals, boys basketball made it to the county finals. We had 3 relay teams and 1 individual male swimmer qualify for the county prelims, with 1 relay team and 1 individual returning for the finals the next day. We also had 7 wrestlers and 9 gymnasts qualify to compete in the county championships. And we had 3 relay teams and 13 individual female winter track athletes, as well as 1 relay team and 6 individual male winter track athletes qualify for the county championships, with 1 male qualifying for the states. So I am so looking forward to see how we do in the spring, but the winter season was fabulous. So now what we've been waiting for, the introduction of our winter all-county athletes. It is through a tremendous amount of year-round hard work and dedication that each of the following individuals have earned all-county honor or above. Unfortunately, some of our athletes could not be here tonight, but they were honored at their team and county dinners, and I would like to share their accomplishments. From the boys' basketball team, both Ryan Kennedy and Patrick Mullen earned all-county honors this season. Both served 3 years at the varsity level, and both were selected as captains as seniors. Pat was number 1 on the team in scoring and rebounds, followed closely by Ryan in the number 2 spot, who was also the team's defensive anchor. So congratulations, Ryan and Pat, and the boys' basketball team. Up for the girls, both Kyla Murphy and Dakota Evans earned all-county honors this season. Kyla was a 3-time all-county player who led the team in scoring and rebounding for the past 2 years. Kyla was also a 2-year captain whose coaches stated is one of the best players who has come through the program in the last 20 years. Dakota has been a 2-year captain for the Cyclones, who earned all-county honors as a senior, as well as all-county honorable mention last year for her skill and her effort on the court. Dakota has been acknowledged as one of the best pure shooters in Nassau County. So congratulations to Kyla and Dakota and the girls' basketball team. Now I would like to call up Coach Harney and the all-county girls from the gymnastics team. Okay, ladies and Coach.
I like the matching outfits. Well done.
Oh, yeah. We are color coordinated. Okay, ladies, as I speak about you, just either wave or take a step forward. First up, we have Olivia Accomando. Olivia competes for the Cyclones on both vault and floor, but it is on the floor where she averages an 8.9 and earned all county honors. Olivia also secured a spot in the state qualifier and team championship meets, where she earned one of her highest vault scores of the season, an 8.0. Congratulations, Olivia. And next up is Alex Griffo. Alex competes for the Cyclones on bar, vault, and beam, and earned all county honors on bar and vault. The uneven bars are Alex's strongest event, where she averages a 7.9. At the team's meet against Massapequa, Alex scored an 8.1, which was one of her highest scores this season. With this score, as well as her scores on vault, Alex was able to secure a spot in the state qualifier and team championship meet. Next up is Cassie Hawkins. Oh, congratulations, Alex. Cassie competes for the Cyclones on vault and floor and earned all county honors in both. Floor exercise is Cassie's strongest event, where she averages an 8.82. At the Cartwheel for a Cure meet, Cassie scored an 8.85 on floor, which was one of her highest scores this season. With this score, as well as her scores on vault, Cassie was able to secure a spot in the state qualifier and team championship meets. Congratulations, Cassie. Next, we have Ava Jewett. Ava competes for the Cyclones on the uneven bars, averaging an 8.17 and earning all county honors. At the team's meet against Massapequa, Ava scored an 8.2, which was one of her highest scores this season. With this score, Ava secured a spot for herself in the state qualifier and the team's championship meets. Congratulations, Ava. Next up is Riley Levine. Riley competes for the Cyclones on bars, beam, and floor, where she earned all county honors on beam and floor. The beam is her strongest event, where she averages an 8.65. At the team's meet against Port Washington, Riley scored an 8.75, which was one of her highest scores this season. With this scores, as well as her scores on floor, Riley was able to secure a spot on the state qualifier and team championship meets. Congratulations, Riley. Now we have Erin McCarthy. Eric competes for the Cyclones on vault, bar, and floor, where she earned all county honors on bar and floor. The uneven bars are Erin's strongest event, where she averages an 8.2. At the team's meet against Massapequa, Erin scored an 8.3, which is one of her highest scores this season. With this score, as well as her scores on floor, Erin was able to secure a spot in the state qualifier and team championship meets. Congratulations, Erin. Now we have Nina Napoli. Nina competes for the Cyclones on bar and beam. The balance beam is Nina's strongest event, where she averages an 8.43 and earned all county honors. With this average, Nina was able to secure a spot in the team championship meet, as well as in the state qualifier, where she scored an 8.55, which is one of her highest beam scores of the season. Congratulations, Nina. So now we have two additional gymnasts who made all-county that can't be here tonight. Mia DeSalvo. Mia competes for the Cyclones on vault, beam, and floor, and she earned all-county honors in all three. Floor exercise is Mia's strongest event, where she averages a 9.2. With this average, as well as her averages on vault and beam, Mia was able to secure a spot in the team state qualifier and team championship meets, where she earned one of her highest floor scores of the season, a 9.4. And finally, we have Sophia, stuck together, Sophia Rosa. Sophia competes for the Cyclones on vault, beam, and floor, where she earned all county honors on beam and floor. The floor exercise is Sophia's strongest event, where she averages a 9.15. At the team's meet against Hicksville, Sophia scored a 9.2, which is one of her highest scores this season. With this score, as well as her score on beam, Sophia was able to secure a spot in the state qualifier and team championship meets. So let's have a big round of applause for all of the girls of the varsity gymnastics team.
Smile about it. Not that short.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Claire, Casey, Hannah, Ashley, and Victoria, as well as Coach Webster from the girls' winter track team. Same thing, take a step forward or wave when I call your name. So first up, oops, sorry, Chris. First up, we have Claire Bohan. Claire earned all county titles in the 3,000 and 1,500 meter distance events this past winter, finishing second and third respectively. Coach Webb stated that Claire is the epitome of self-discipline and athletic dedication. He stated that she goes above and beyond the daily team workouts, continuing her own workouts after practices and on days off, and is always looking to better her times and successes. Claire will continue running next year at George Washington University. Congratulations, Claire. Next up are the ladies of the all-county 4x200 meter relay team, Casey, Hannah, Ashley, and Victoria. Freshman Casey McGray had big shoes to fill as she walked into the 4x200 meter relay team staffed with some very fast, competitive, and seasoned runners. Casey stepped in and never looked back, quickly earning the trust and admiration of other members of the relay. Her speed and focus were clear as she played a role in the team's second-place county finish. Casey was the first leg of the race, which is a daunting position that sets the role for the rest of the team. Congratulations, Casey. Senior Hannah Porter took up the second leg of the relay, and she didn't disappoint. Hannah has been a standout on the team for the past 4 years, consistently earning varsity points in the sprints, relays, and long jump. Hannah is a 4-year veteran who cheered on and helped coach the younger, newer girls on the team, while also focusing on her own events. Hannah has been a part of the 4x200 meter team for 4 years, and her coaches are proud to see her winter career capped with an all-county title. Congratulations, Hannah. Junior Ashley Mata took up the position of third leg in the race and has shown tremendous focus and discipline as a member of this relay team. During the county championship race this year, a spectator literally walked into her lane and caused a collision with Ashley. Despite this pressing obstacle, Ashley got back into the race and ran with more heart than ever, making up valuable lost time. The coaches are fortunate to have her for another year. Congratulations, Ashley. I was there. It was pretty impressive. Junior Victoria Daniel was the anchor leg in this county runner-up 4x200 meter relay team. Victoria once again had a tremendous season as a top sprinter in Nassau County. Victoria earned all-county honors in 3 events, which is the maximum number attainable. In addition to earning all-county honors as part of the relay team, Victoria earned all-county accolades in the 55-meter sprint with her third-place finish, and was named the county champion in the 55-meter hurdles while smashing a school record that has sat untouched for 36 years. Congratulations, Victoria. Congratulations, Casey, Claire, Hannah, Ashley, and Victoria from the girls' winter track team.
They ran into her.
And now I would like to call up John Fraser and Coach Bosch from the boys' winter track team. After an injury at the beginning of the season, John had a great comeback performance in the triple jump and became a 2-time all-county champion by jumping 43 feet, 8 inches and a quarter. John then went to be the only Southside representative at the New York State Championships, where he jumped over 43 feet again and finished 9th in the state. This was John's second appearance in the state championships, and he also competed at the Nike Nationals last year. So congratulations to John Fraser and the boys' winter track team.
Yeah, I want a demonstration.
So athletes, I would like to congratulate you again on your outstanding achievements. We wish you luck if you are a spring athlete and everything else you do later in the year. This concludes my winter accomplishments presentation. I'll be back, but I hope you have a great evening.
Seeing how it's Sophia's birthday, if you want to go out now, you guys can all, make a break for it while it's safe. So, dismissed. Great job, everybody.
Congratulations, everybody. Have a good night.
That's really nice.
Is this for the task?
Congratulations again to everybody. Thank you. Mr. Gavin, Superintendent's report.
Thank you, President Barry. We've had a busy few weeks since our last meeting. Spring sports are in full effect. We have had all of our district concerts, and I want to thank Dr. Zuar and all of our music teachers for their work to prepare our students to make a wonderful month of music. Thank you very much. In terms of partnerships, this year we have worked extensively on developing opportunities to engage parents in discussions about their child's education. We view our partnership with parents as vitally important to the success of our students and the ability of our district to strive to meet our mission statement. On that note, we are in the midst of parent-teacher conferences. For the parents of our high school and middle school students, the timing of parent-teacher conferences purposely coincides with the steps of our course selection process. This provides all of our parents the opportunity to discuss their options for next year. If you have a question or wish to know more about some of the new electives we offer, or the grade 8 math or science options, or our 11R English or social studies classes, please make sure you have signed up for conferences and have an opportunity to speak with your child's teacher and guidance counselor. High school and middle school course verifications go out in late March, so it's the perfect time to review your child's course selections with your child and schedule a conference or a phone call with your child's counselor or teacher. We have worked incredibly hard to increase our options for students on the secondary level and want to support our parents and students in the selection process. If you've already had a conference but want additional clarity, please email your child's teacher and guidance counselor, who will be more than happy to provide their perspective. I also want to let parents know that we do not decide which courses will ultimately run until much, much later in the spring, so there's plenty of time to continue this conversation. I also wish, that's the end of my report, but I wish to wish all of our community a happy Easter break as we go on Easter break next week. And that's it. President Barry.
Thank you, Mr. Gavin. We will start the public work session portion of the meeting. Mr. Gavin.
Thank you. We wish to welcome
Back.
welcome back to the mic. Welcome back to the mic. Ms. Cara Rosetto, who will be giving our presentation, our annual update on the PE, health, and athletics. This is Ms. Rosetto's last presentation as she is retiring.
Can I give a woohoo?
So we wish her well, and we want to take this opportunity. I know there'll be more times for us to do this, Carol, in a more formal matter, in a more formal place. But I do want to thank you for all the hard work that you have put in place over the years here. I know your dedication to students to be paramount. You are incredibly organized and dedicated administrator who spends all of her waking time thinking about our athletes and our program. So thank you very much for your hard work. Thank you for your dedication to our kids, and thank you for the support of our coaches and our students.
Thank you very much. Okay. So, good
Slide
evening
one.
again, everyone. Nope, first slide still. It is my pleasure to present this informational overview regarding physical education, health education, and athletics in RVC, where we feel successful students demonstrate competency, collaboration, and citizenship. I'd like to begin with physical education, where every day is a chance to improve and grow. In physical education, we help teach our students healthy habits and reinforce the positive relationships between physical activity and academics. PE provides concrete instruction on how to improve physical health through a variety of activities. RVC has a staff of 16 PE teachers servicing over 3,300 students 3 times a cycle for 120 minutes, and all curriculum is based on the New York State Physical Education Learning Standards. PE starts with the kindergarten through 3rd grade block, which is a progressive instructional foundation for all future learning. It includes such things as spatial awareness and safety, as cooperative games and team building, tumbling, fitnessgram concepts, circus arts and invasion concepts, ball and frisbee skills, as well as lifelong activities and field day concepts. During the 4th and 5th grade, there is a review of all concepts taught in K through 3, in addition to the introduction of yoga, football, soccer, basketball, frisbee golf, lacrosse, floor hockey, and volleyball concepts. In the 4th and 5th grade, it is a more team-based concept approach. At the middle school level, students review and practice skills and concepts learned at the elementary level and advance into game-like settings with an additional focus on personal fitness understanding. Units covered include team sports such as soccer, football, volleyball, basketball, softball, and European team handball, and other units such as cooperative games, fitness activities, leisure activities, and yoga. And lessons at the middle school are infused with get active, get fit components throughout the instructional sequence when and where it is appropriate. There is always an underlying focus of fitness in all physical education classes. At the high school level, students review and practice skills and concepts learned at the middle school level, advancing into authentic game and tournament settings, also with a focus now on self-prescription of exercise. Quarter 1 includes things such as hands-only CPR training, Project Adventure, archery, personal fitness, yoga, Pilates, flag football, soccer, European team handball. Quarter 2 infuses basketball, floor hockey, volleyball, and self-defense. Quarter 3, fitness testing, badminton, pickleball. And quarter 4, Project Adventure, softball, Pilates, outdoor leisure sports. All 4 quarters include personal fitness. Lessons at the high school level are infused with personal fitness for you components throughout the instructional sequence when and where appropriate. The goal at the high school is lifelong fitness, wellness, and activity. Now moving on to health education, where the focus is on educating the whole child, making the connection between physical health, mental well-being, and academic performance. Lessons emphasize the habits that we wish our students to cultivate over the course of their lifetimes. Our comprehensive skills-based curriculum is aligned with the New York State Health Education Standards and Guidance document. Programs offered include 5th grade maturation and 7th, 10th, and 12th grade health education classes. This year at the high school, we are transitioning to a full year, every other day curriculum for all 10th graders, with the future addition of health electives beginning in the 25-26 school year. Health education classes at the middle school and high school focus on the 7 personal and health-related skills of team self-management, relationship management, stress management, communication, decision-making, planning and goal setting, and advocacy skills. And the 7 personal and health-related skills are applied to the functional health units of nutrition, fitness, human sexuality, mental health, alcohol and other drugs, tobacco and vaping. The ultimate goal is for our students to make healthy, wise, and safe choices throughout their lifetime. Now to switch gears into the athletic realm, which offers the development of specific physical skills, team skills, and focuses on a collaborative goal while allowing student athletes the opportunity to pursue a goal that is meaningful to them. Sports provide yet another opportunity for our student to improve every day at something they love to do. RVC Athletics offers 62 varsity, JV, and middle school teams, employs 134 coaches throughout the year, has on average over 650 participating middle school athletes over 4 seasons, and over 990 participating high school athletes over 3 seasons, and covering over 1,100 interscholastic athletic events per year. At the high school, we offer 37 JV and varsity teams at the sports listed on the screen. We offer 25 middle school sports. And then last year, we added assistant coaches for almost every middle school and high school team. And this year, we added JV boys volleyball, middle school fall and winter cheerleading, middle school boys and girls winter track, as well as middle school boys volleyball. So we are always improving every year. In addition, every RVC coach is certified as required by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association. Coaches who are New York State certified teachers hold current certifications in first aid for coaches, CPR AED, concussion management, and have completed all coaching coursework required by New York State within the required time frame. Non-teacher coaches, in addition to the requirements listed above, all coaches who are not New York State certified teachers have completed fingerprinting clearance, child abuse, school violence, and DASA certifications. And all records for valid and current coaching certification are monitored on an ongoing basis throughout the year and verified before each season. In RVC, we take student safety very seriously. Southside Athletics was among the first schools in New York State to implement the baseline concussion testing program. All 7th through 12th grade student athletes participating in the sports of baseball, basketball, cheerleading, diving, football, gymnastics, lacrosse, soccer, softball, volleyball, and wrestling are required to have current baseline brain function test before the beginning of their season. The impact test is a 20 to 30-minute computer-based test. It is valid for 2 years and offers a pre-injury baseline measurement for each individual athlete. Impact testing measures reaction time, short-term memory, word and shape recognition. If a head injury occurs during the season, the impact test would be re-administered post-injury, and the 2 tests would be compared by a physician and used as an additional measure to assess brain function and recovery. In addition, all Southside athletes are properly equipped and meet all safety requirements as set by local, state, and national standards for athletic participation in each specific sport. Referees and umpires check athletes for required safety equipment before each game. All teams travel to practices and games with a stocked med kit and a certified AED. In addition, all varsity, JV, and middle school football games have an on-site EMT at every home game, in addition to the athletic trainer at the varsity and JV levels. All gymnastics equipment, lacrosse and football helmets and shoulder pads, baseball, softball, batters helmets and pitchers equipment, as well as all athletic AEDs are inspected and recertified each year. Protective padding is also put on fences, goalposts, and volleyball nets to prevent injuries. And all safety protocols are reviewed during the preseason coaches meeting and acknowledged by each coach. An additional layer of safety for baseball, softball, batting cage, netting, and L screens was added 2 years ago, which requires our coaches to conduct a pre-use safety assessment for any day they use these nets. After inspection, coaches will sign off on the indoor batting cage, netting, and L screen assessment sign-off form that is hung in the auxiliary gym. A portable L screen sign-off log will be carried in the med kits that are taken to the field each day. All coaches and athletes are required to wear batting helmets at all times while inside the batting cages in the auxiliary gym. RVC school fields and courts are maintained by our district grounds crew and fully prepared before the season and before each game. Goals and nets are properly placed, monitored regularly for safety, and replaced or repaired when needed. Town fields are prepped and maintained on a daily basis by town personnel. And this year we added a beautiful brand new turf field with protective netting at the middle school, which has increased field safety for all team practices and games. Through safely participating in sports, our student athletes learn commitment, time management, self-sacrifice, hard work, discipline, and the importance of striving for self-directed improvement in their chosen sport. All right, what is going on? And they do it well. Southside High School has been a school of distinction or a school of excellence since being enrolled in 2017. To receive scholar athlete recognition, at least 75% of a team's roster must have a GPA of 90% or over. To receive School of Distinction, 100% of all varsity teams have earned scholar athlete status. And we are a School of Distinction for the past few years. We got a nice little plaque. They've upped their game. Ooh, nice photo. RVC also offers the internationally accredited Athletes Helping Athletes program, where high school student athletes are selected based on an application process and trained to deliver 3 messages to the 5th grades from all buildings. In Visit 1, they introduce themselves and tell a personal story on how sports taught them things such as the value of hard work, not giving up, setting goals, believing in yourself. The second visit is around sportsmanship, citizenship, and ethical behavior, and what to do in certain circumstances. In Visit 3, the main message is about choosing athletics, art, music, clubs over destructive behavior. And finally, our culminating event is Field Day, which we call Fun Day Monday. It gives all the 5th graders an opportunity to play together before they get to the middle school. They get to meet some new people from other schools. And this is run 100% by the high school members, and it's their way of paying it forward. In RVC, we have tremendous athletic success year after year. Every year, Southside athletic teams participate in league, conference, division, class, county, Long Island, and state competitions. Last year alone resulted in 85 all-county, 16 all-county honorable mention, 66 all-conference, 39 all-division, and 3 all-league individual honors, as well as 2 All-American, 2 All-American honorable mention, 1 academic All-American, 5 All-State, 1 All-State honorable mention, 16 state qualifiers, and 10 All-Long Island athletes. In addition to 1 state runner-up, 1 state qualifying, 1 Long Island, 2 county, 1 division, and 5 conference championship teams. I'm still going. 10 county, 11 division, and 4 individual conference champions, and 5 player and 4 conference coaches of the year, plus our 26 scholar athlete teams. So we are fabulous. And our academic success, combined with our athletic success, results in many Southside student athletes that continuing their athletic endeavors at the D1, the D2, and D3 collegiate level. So far, the Cyclones have 31 committed athletes in the sports of girls lacrosse at the College of William and Mary, Canisius College, University of Vermont, Stony Brook, and Lafayette, boys lacrosse at Hobart, Cornell, Providence, Bryant, Skidmore, Middlebury, Oneonta, and Cortland, baseball at Hofstra, St. Thomas Aquinas, Queens, Curry, Marywood, and the United States Merchant Marine Academy, for girls soccer at St. John's, Long Island University, and Muhlenberg, for boys soccer at the U.S. Naval Academy and SUNY Potsdam, for girls golf at Gettysburg College, for girls cross country and track and field at George Washington University and Yersinis College, football at Colgate University, softball at Yersinis College, girls volleyball at the University of Scranton and Misericordia. Once again, fabulous. So with that, that concludes my presentation tonight. I thank you for listening, and let's go Cyclones.
Thank you, Ms. Rossetto. I'll just echo Mr. Gavin to start my comments and say thank you for all your years of service to this district, to our students, and most especially to our student athletes and our coaches. So thank you very much. We'll have opportunity to celebrate you in the future, but being this is your last formal presentation to the board, I wanted to take some time to say thank you.
Thank you.
Obviously, the board is incredibly proud of all of our student athletes, and it's not just the awards and the championships, but more especially the School of Excellence and the School of Distinction Awards, and really more so even than that, the athletes helping athletes, the treats, the dispositions that we want our students, all of our students, to possess, embodied in our student athletes. So we're very proud of them. So thank you. Comments or questions from the board?
I'll just say a quick thank you as well. When I look at the breadth of grounds that you cover, phys ed, health, athletics, over 3,300 students, some with disabilities, some at the varsity level, and now D1. It's so important that we do this safely, and there are so many logistics involved. We do it safely and in a spirit of competition, but also collaboration. So I appreciate that you started with that. And I just noticed, and I thank you also for reminding us about the expanded health in the high school, talking about those 7 personal and health-related skills: stress management, communication skills, self-advocacy. So many of those line up with issues that we heard about in our survey to parents and families as areas of concern. So I know that you may not be here when that is implemented, but if you would pass along to your teachers and staff that we remain interested and committed to addressing these issues. Wonderful. And any way that we can help support the growth of that particular program. To
Wonderful.
please keep
Thank
the
you. We look forward to
communication
that.
open. Thank you.
I also want to thank you for all of your years of service, and I mean, it really is an enormous endeavor. The busing, the scheduling, the refs, like there's just so much that goes into everything, so thank you. And hopefully we'll see you on the sideline cheering. I'm sure we probably will.
Probably still filling up the water bottles.
It's probably not that easy to give up cold turkey, so so hopefully we'll see you next year as a fan. Just a few comments. So I know we added the kindergarten PE a few years ago. I just wanted to say that I think that was a great addition for those kids, especially they're still so young, so to be able to be active 3 times in the cycle I think is really important. I'm curious just your take on the 10th grade health this year. Is it an improvement over 12th grade, or is there any feedback from the teachers, things they're noticing?
I would say once we get going and we phase out of the 2 years of still having the health class, the health 12
Right.
to cover, it's been very positive. It is more cohesive. It is year-round. It could match with the phys ed, every other day, so it's scheduling, it's easier. The teachers are now, like writing and rewriting the curriculum and trying to merge, but they're also thinking of the health electives that would be important, because that 12th grade piece is super important, and it conflicted scheduling-wise with IB for the second half of the year. So this is wonderful. They're getting their full half credit in 10th grade, but now they're going to get specific health electives that I hope they want to take, and the biggest one is really going to request that we kind of condense Health 12 and make it, whatever we're going to call it, but make it graduating health, like what do you need to know as you leave high school type of health. So it's really what Health 12 was, but hopefully we can get it in the first quarter, the first semester, and a lot of the 12th graders will take it, because it really is a fabulous portion of it, and the kids actually liked it a lot. So far, positive feedback. Again, we're just juggling every
the
year
remaining.
and the part, and the 2 half semester things.
That's great. I also think it's great that they're getting it earlier on
Yes.
in their
Yeah.
teenage years.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah. It does need to be repeated as they go. It really should, in my opinion, it should be every year, but we won't go there.
So then my next question is, and I don't know if this has ever been discussed, but I know starting in 10th grade, athletes get gym exemptions if they are playing, is it a varsity sport or any sport?
Any.
I'm wondering if we've ever looked at that as an option for 9th graders, only because, and not necessarily to give a free, but maybe, like, those kids are doing, most of our athletes are also athletes outside of school, and they have a lot of time that they're like spending on their in-school commitments and then their out-of-school athletic commitments. I feel like every sport now has become like a year-round thing. And I'm just wondering, to a similar point of Dr. Downing about students talking about feeling stressed or not having enough time, if it's maybe just something to consider, like that they could go to study hall during their season. As I don't know. I don't know if it's ever been discussed before or why we don't offer it to ninth graders. I'm just curious.
So I'm going to say physical education reduces stress, and maybe I'll leave it at that. I don't know. That would have to be discussed. I know it probably came about, it predates me. I know
Okay.
it probably came about because the IB scheduling and the tightness of that. But I personally feel everybody should be taking phys ed all 4 years. So, but that's the phys ed director in me.
Gotcha. Again, thank you for all
got
your
it.
years.
Hi, Carol. I'm going to start with my question. I'm going to end with my comments. A question came up from the presentation about the high school hands-only CPR. Is
Yeah.
that offered grades 9 through 12, everybody?
Yes. So the requirement is currently is for 12th grade only, 12th graders only. It started about maybe 6 years ago, something like that. Well, the first year it came in in May, so it was like the end of the year. So we kind of just found the 12th graders. But my thought process was, why are we only teaching it to 12th graders? So we do it at the beginning of the year because we had, the phys ed students, health students, athletes, everybody in the building. So every 9th through 12th grader gets it every year at the beginning of the year, so it's refreshed. They practice. We bought enough dummies where we have 40 of the chest compressing dummies, so we can run a class each period, and everybody gets a shot at it, and everybody starts singing "Staying Alive" because that's the beat.
Right.
So it's been really well. I
think that's
I think it now is going to go down to the middle school. I believe that's going to be a next step.
I think that's great. And when you say hands-only, that means non-AED training. Does it include Heimlich maneuver training at all?
No,
Okay.
it literally is the hands-only
compression.
compressions. It's teaching them that anybody can save a life. You're not, if you break a rib, you're not liable, you're helping somebody. So we teach all that. We actually have a AED trainer that actually just talks. So as part of that, the last 5 minutes, we show them if there is an AED, this is how to use it.
That's great.
So, yeah.
I think that's great, thank you. Just some other things that jumped out that are additions in the time period I've been on the board that I think have been really great. 5th grade maturation coming in-house. I think our teachers do a fantastic job having sat through it on the outside and on the inside. It was a really big difference. So kudos to our teachers taking that on. It's tough subject matter, they're young, but I think no better trusted adults than the ones we have in-house, so that was a brilliant move. Thank you for that. Another great change that isn't mentioned here, but final forms. I know it was probably really hard to execute, but as an athletic parent, I think it's it follows a system. Our nurses are amazing. I have to give them credit also here because they do a lot of work on final forms and clearing athletes, and just the amount of, like everybody has said, just the amount of students you're talking about, the undertaking on that alone is just the administrative work, and you've always been so strong on that side of things. So just really thank you for bringing that in. I think that's been a great addition.
Thank you.
And not mentioned here at all, but have to give you props for all the years of red and blue direction that you've given. It is an enormous undertaking on its own, and you are the athletic director on top of it. So I just wanted to, even though it's not mentioned here, make sure everybody is very aware of your leadership when it came to red and blue and our tradition and keeping it going. We've had to modify as we've gone on, just with times changing and things, but thank you for keeping it going. All the time you've given to it. So going into my final comments, I just have to thank you personally. You really have done so much. You touch a piece of every single thing that we do here between curriculum, special ed, finances, administrative work, human resources, managing coaches, dealing with students and parents. I see you everywhere. I know you've been so dedicated. I joked at the last meeting, but you weren't here, about how you have tiny little shoes to fill because you're little, but they're very big shoes. And I just wanted to say that to you. I am really grateful for you, and the work you and I did together on our athletic committee meant a lot to me personally, and really built a culture of trust among our coaches, and I think that was really important work that we did, and I appreciate that you were open to that. I enjoyed working with you on it, and I've just enjoyed working with you all the way through. So I really wish you the best in retirement. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Deb.
Thank you, Mrs. Rossetto, for the presentation and also for all that you've done for the Rockville Center School District. I mean, there's so much to be proud of that's occurred during your tenure, and I think athletics, especially over the last few years, has really, I don't want to say it's taken off, I feel like it's always been excellent, but we've just had so much success. So I guess really the only question I have for you as the outgoing athletic director is, what are the areas of opportunity that you see for us moving forward in physical education, health, athletics? How do we take what you've built and build it further? What would be your parting advice for us?
You have a tremendous amount of very, very, very strong programs that really don't need much change. In the health, we know we're looking for those electives. I really hope to see some very strong health electives come through once we phase out the senior class. Athletically speaking, I would be cautious of adding too many new teams because then we're watering down the existing pool of athletes in certain areas. I don't know, just keep it going. Keep supporting the athletes, keep supporting the coaches, keep supporting the teachers, and adapt as you go.
Thank you,
You're
and I
welcome.
wish you the best in your retirement.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rossetto.
I'm getting off my little stuff.
Turning to budget work session, we have our third budget presentation in the area of instruction. Mr. Gavin?
Tonight, we are here to welcome Mr. Bartels to lead us through the next component of our budget. Mr. Bartels will lead us through the curriculum and PPS portion of the budgets this evening, knowing that on April 16th, we have our preliminary budget hearing on May 7th, where we have to do our formal adoption. So, Mr. Bartels.
Thank you, Mr. Gavin. So the presentation tonight is going to be similar to previous presentations. Go through the budget schedule, look at the summary of the budget, talk about the instructional and special education parts of the budget, as well as pupil personnel services. I just want to remind everybody that a copy of the full budget, along with all of the previous presentations, are on the district website. So now we're at March 21st. We have one more budget hearing, one preliminary budget hearing on April 16th. That's the last time we can make changes, so we usually have a few little revisions, some back and forths that we do, so we'll present those on April 16th, so we can come up with the final budget. May 7th, we have a formal budget hearing. We will not be able to make any changes at that time. That's a state-required hearing. And then May 21st, the annual election and budget vote. On the budget summary, we're still 0.87% increase on the budget, which is a 2.49% increase in the tax levy. That is under the tax levy limit, which for us this year is 2.64%. Instructional administration portion of the budget is about 3.4% of the overall budget. This is really the curriculum administration, school supervision, so the assistant superintendent for curriculum, their staff, all the principals and directors, and all of the direction that they provide, as well as the summer school principal and director of community ed. We also have community survey This comes out of this area of the budget, as well as the new Teacher Institute, all the curriculum writing, and my learning plan, which keeps track of all the staff development for all the teachers. Really have not been many changes in any of these budget codes. Any increases are really just due to contractual increases. The instruction portion of the budget is our largest portion of the budget. It's 31.8% of the overall budget. This includes all of our teaching staff. So all the teachers, teaching assistants, teacher aides, permanent subs. All of our staffing that we have for next year only includes changes due to enrollments. Any changes or increases in programs we're covering with current staff, so we're just doing some realigning. We have 2 contingent positions which we're going to be using for we believe two increase in elementary sections, again due to enrollments. Other portions of the instructional budget are the clerical staff in the buildings, equipment and supplies, any monies for rental spaces. We have the greenhouse program for the high school, and we use the synagogue for additional space for Wilson School. Any dues and memberships that our buildings belong to, so the IB program, ASCD, Society for Curriculum Development, Math Olympiads, charter schools. Charter schools is one of the areas we're seeing an increase for next year, for this year, so the budget is increasing for next year. We've had consistently 2 to 3 over a number of years, the past 10 years up until last year. Last year that number jumped to 5, and this year up to 9. What we're seeing is there are students moving into the district already going to charter schools. So these are not students that are coming up through Rockville Center Schools and then moving to charter schools. They're students moving into the district which are already going to those charter schools. So we're hoping we'll be able to bring some of those students back in, but right now we have 9, we actually have 10 students this year. A couple of them started halfway into the year, so that's why we have the kind of the equivalent of 9, and that's kind of where we're budgeting for next year. We also have all of our textbooks for all private and parochial schools in this area of the budget. We do provide textbooks to the students that go to all of the parochial schools. Any students, parents, done by parent choice into private schools, we provide those textbooks. And then any BOCES programs that we have. So we have the Arts in Motion program, which is spread throughout the district. Ashokin, any programs that we can do through BOCES, we try to do that because we get certain state aid back on those programs, so it helps us offset some of the costs of those programs. As I said, the increases really are the charter schools, and then we have a number of additions in decodables, reading books, mystery science kits. Those are some of the specifics. There are some other smaller ones that we have. All that is, we're looking for ways to enhance learning with different strategies to reach more students, more different learning abilities. These strategies are being recommended through staff development and through teacher collaboration. So I know Dr. Moriarty goes through and with a lot of the teachers, comes up with different strategies in the professional development that they do, and makes different recommendations to implement for changes to improve education. As far as new programs, Mr. Gavin presented this at a previous board meeting. I have the link in the presentation for anybody that wants to go back and take a look. But to summarize, at the high school, we have a lot of emphasis on technology, AP Computer Science, which is Java programming, along with Python programming. We have a course for IB Digital Society and also Prompt Engineering. We added a personal finance class. We have some additional courses in ELA 12, Spanish 1 and 2, and Theory of Knowledge, which has been a great course. They're expanding that so every student has the ability to take that. In art, we've had a unified art course as well as art explorations. The middle school, for grade 6, we've had art in our exploratory program. We have a career planning course, which is financial management, career paths, and entrepreneurship in grade 7. In grade 8, we have photography and a video elective. We also have inquiry in the AI age for grade 8, which is critical thinking and research using artificial intelligence. And at the elementary, again, we're looking to increase various things through knowledge-based units, as well as some additional math support through math committee recommendations. Special education. This area makes up about 14% of our budget. This covers all of our special education staffing, the administration, all of the teachers, teaching assistants, teacher aides, and occupational therapists, physical therapists that work with the students. It covers contracted service for occupational therapists, physical therapists, and speech services, as well as assistive technology and other related services. There are equipment, textbooks, and supplies, as well as private school and BOCES tuitions for district-placed students. We also have BOCES occupational education that's provided to certain students. Increases, decreases here, really, we've had reductions in this program because we're bringing students back. We've brought a number of students back into district this year. We have a few more that we believe are coming back for next year. We've also have a few students who are graduating out of some of the programs, so we're actually seeing a reduction in those out-of-district tuition placements between BOCES and out-of-district placements. Also, I just want to mention the integrated co-teaching model is now complete K-12. It started with the K-6, K-5, and then this year fully implemented for the secondary school. So I think that program is working terrific. We're happy that we put that in place. Next area is pupil personnel services. These are services that address various student issues, including guidance and our mental health services. So includes all of our guidance counselors, college fair, financial aid night, Naviance, which is a program for college acceptances. We have all of our health services, our nurses, our contracted nursing services, and our school doctor, as well as Northwell Mental Health Program. And we also have to provide nursing services for students in private schools. We also have all the psychologists, social workers, as well in this area of the budget. And again, no real changes for these parts of the budget, other than salary changes and contractual increases. And just to reiterate some budget notes, again, 0.87% increase in the budget, 2.49% for the tax levy. We are back down to $1.8 million in our transfer to capital for various capital projects that we need for next year. No program cuts at all, just increases and additions, expanding offerings both in school and after school. And again, as stories continue to show up in Newsday and other media about other districts having issues with continuing to fund their staffing, we are maintaining all of the staffing and support programs that we had in place during COVID. We had planned for the eventuality of this money disappearing, and they're all now fully within the budget and covered.
Thank you, Mr. Bartels. As I stated in the last meeting, I think it bears repeating, just thank you for all of your work in preparing this budget. It's incredibly important to the board that we maintain both staffing and program, and not just maintain, but add and enhance. And this budget represents both on the curriculum and pupil personnel service side that we're doing that. I think it's important that we're increasing choice for our students, and we're adapting to their needs as they unfold and they show us what they are, and we're responding to that. So thank you very much. Comments or questions from the board?
Thank you as well. Just a couple of quick things. First, I just wanted to say that I appreciate the new Teacher Institute. I think that's like a very valuable investment in the new cohorts of teachers that are being hired and giving them a place to collaborate with colleagues. You know, it's invaluable to have those discussions, so I appreciate that we're continuing that. My only other question really or comment is I'm just curious, so I know that we're doing at the high school, the math department has a teacher on staff, a teacher in the office, I think every period of the day, right, to provide help for kids who need it. I'm just, how frequently is that being utilized? Are kids dropping in? Are they using it? Are we satisfied with how that model is working?
I think the attendance or the use of it is pretty regular. I wouldn't say it's overwhelming, but they do get students from all range of needs, meaning like we might have students that want to just prep up for a test. We also may have students that are looking to bump up their average and get clarity on a particular topic. So while it may not be 20 kids a period, it might be closer to between 3 and 8, generally speaking, on every period. It is utilized. So that is something that the math department makes sure that they're available one period a day, every one person every period per day.
That's great. Part of my question was whether we have too many students to be served by one staff person. So it currently seems like the ratio is working.
Right now, it seems to work. There are certainly days, let's say the 9th grade has a big test, you might see an increase if they're all giving things at the same time, or before you might see, before midterm or before a final, you might see an increase. But generally speaking, on a day-to-day basis, we're pretty consistent.
Okay. So I had mentioned this, I don't know for this year, but just if we could maybe take a look at whether we could offer something similar in like the English social studies realm. I know Nicole, Dr. Moriarty has been talking about focusing on writing, and I think as we're expanding that, it might be nice to be able to figure out a way to offer some kind of writing lab or just a way for kids to get help if they're interested, because listen, I know when I was teaching, grading 100 essays and giving meaningful and timely feedback was a near impossible task. So if we could just take a look at that, I would appreciate it.
Coincidentally, Dr. Moriarty, Dr. Walsh and I were talking about that very thing because we were talking about the duty schedule as a whole. So that kind of came up as an idea. So right now, the schedule will preclude it, but we are looking for ways to try to incorporate that for next year.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bartels, as always. I appreciate your presentation. I had a question, I don't know who it's for really, but just related to the charter school increase that we're seeing. When we have a student or family that moves into town that's currently enrolled or believes that they'd like to be enrolled in a school that's outside of the district, do we send out some sort of registrar packet, welcome to our district, here's what we offer, here's an opportunity to meet with the principal at the level that your child is at, anything like that? Just curious, because since we are seeing an increase, I'm just wondering how we are or not extending ourselves to our new residents that come in, educating them about our schools.
Well, I think part of the registration process is having a conversation about what are the programs and opportunities here. As Mr. Bartels said, though, most of the people for the charter schools in specific, so I'll just address that particular one. Most of the people that come in for charter schools in particular are people that have moved in whose kids are already there. So they weren't looking for another option, they were more looking to continue the option that they had. And because it is a charter school, they're allowed to do so. So, for example, if they come from another school district, obviously they're coming to us and they may want a different option, but at that point we have to walk them through the process of what is available to them. In terms of, do we do like an orientation? Generally speaking, if they say we're interested in a charter school, we probably don't. So, but we do tell them that if the charter school doesn't, is not something that fits your needs, we have a comprehensive high school kind of piece like that. Or elementary, depending on the level.
Just in light of the fact that it's increasing, I would say it
Yeah.
would be a good thing to start to reevaluate that when we have any family with school-age children moving into the district, that we at least put ourselves out there as a resource to contact us for more information or be available to them. Because some of these people could be coming from out of state also and just really don't know the school system or anything like that. So just a comment on, since we saw the increase. One of the other things I noticed in the budget, I'm really happy to see we're continuing our partnership with Northwell Mental Health, and just wondering if we can get a sense of if maybe we could get an update coming up. We haven't had one in a while now. We loved having Dr. Fiora come. We know she's so involved with us. I think our parents that are utilizing this are grateful for it. I'm very grateful that we offer it. I don't know if we ever have a chance to confidentially survey families that have used it to get feedback, but I would love to have them come back and maybe get an update from them.
So they provide us with feedback, some of which is confidential that I
Yep.
probably wouldn't share in public.
Yep.
But they provide us with feedback, including data, the number of visits, the rationale for visits, how the services go. Do we refer students or do the parents look for themselves? So we do have a range of information that we can ask Ms. Love to kind of tack on to one of our upcoming presentations. We'll have to figure out a best time and date for that. And something that'll make sense. Maybe it's part of MTSS.
Yep.
Maybe that might be a nice update as part of MTSS.
That would be great. I mean, just, again, really proud that we were one of the first schools to offer it, and it's really caught on and has expanded. It's the norm now almost that school districts have, and it's a really needed service for the community, so I'm really happy to see it still in there. And that was my 2 questions, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bartels, again, for once again putting together this presentation and putting together an excellent budget for us. I did just want to revisit a conversation that we had a couple of meetings ago regarding curriculum and course offerings. And I sincerely appreciate all of the new courses that are being added for our students next year. But I did raise the question at that meeting about math. I still really want to talk about our math curriculum at the middle school, and I also want to talk about our math curriculum at the high school, specifically for those students who do not elect to take our IB math courses. Starting with the high school, I know that we do offer 2 other math courses for 11th and 12th graders who are not taking IB, but I'm wondering if perhaps there's a way to provide more options for students. I've spoken with quite a few high school parents whose children are not electing to take the IB courses, and they feel, to an extent, pigeonholed, where there's one class, math concepts, that feels like a really good fit for their student they're taking in 11th grade, but have concerns about what options that student might have in 12th grade to continue math. And I know there is a probability and statistics class as well, but there are some parents who feel that that might not be most appropriate for their child, but still want to see their child complete the 4-year continuum so that they're prepared for mathematics in college. One of the, according to research, the main reason that students drop out of college is because they cannot pass freshman level math. So just maybe a request, I don't know if there's time for it this year or potentially next year, but just really thinking about what else we can offer our students in the realm of math that is relevant and applicable to them moving forward in their mathematics career and then also into college and career. With regards to Math 7, I've talked a lot about this for the past 3 years, kind of like a broken record, but I do still want to revisit this. I know we have Math 8, and I'm thankful for the fact that our students have options as they move into grade 8. I'm stuck on the Math 7 specifically because of the way that our curriculum is aligned, that all of our 7th graders, regardless of if they're going into Math 8 or algebra, are taking the 7th grade standards and 51% of the 8th grade standards in 7th grade, which creates a course that is very quickly paced, and because of the pacing, therefore will become very difficult for some students. I'm unsure why a student who's going to go into Math 8 needs to take 51% of the math standards in 7th grade only to repeat them again in 7th grade. I was doing some light reading on the New York State Education Department's website and found myself looking at the New York State Board of Regents' Every Student Succeeds Act mission. It says, the mission of the New York State Board of Regents is to ensure that every child has equitable access to the highest quality educational opportunities, services, and supports in schools that provide highly effective instruction aligned to the state's standards. It then goes on to talk about their definition of equity, meaning that the learning needs of every student are supported in an environment where all students are valued, respected, and experience academic success, regardless of their age, gender, socioeconomic status, religion, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, disability, native language, origin, or immigration status. And this really made me think again about what we are doing here as a public school and this idea of aligning curriculum to the state standards, that we are providing opportunities for students to take the classes that best fit their needs. I know when we had originally had this conversation about acceleration for all, it was stated that we want to provide opportunity, that we are a school of opportunity. And I wholly agree that we should be a school of opportunity and that opportunity should be available and open to all students. But instead of providing a single opportunity, I'm really going to request that we concern ourselves with providing a range of learning opportunities, that we encourage our students to pursue coursework that will help them meet their diverse goals, that our students, or just acknowledging that our students have varied preferences and talents, and that if we enable them and encourage them, that they'll flourish in their lives in the way that they are meant to, and they'll contribute to society in different ways. And the best example I feel like I have of this was in the meeting that we had, 2 weeks ago with a focus group of high school students. And there was one student, we were talking about the courses that you've taken and, if you felt like there's been availability of courses. And the student said, I know you're going to be disappointed in me, but I'm not taking math or science. This is a senior. I'm taking 5 music classes. And I really wanted to just stand up and say I couldn't be prouder of you. I could not be prouder of you for following your desires and doing what is best for you, despite what the mainstream is pushing you to do. I would really like to see us offer classes, and I know I'm harping on math because it's the one that stands out the most to me, that enables students to be in a place that is comfortable for them, where they can grow, where they can become confident, where they can find a love in the subject area, where they're not forced into something that is too difficult, too hard, that really just ends up setting them back. That idea of being a valued member of a class, like if I'm constantly failing, if I'm constantly struggling, I don't seem valued or seen or heard. I'm not meeting with that success. So I'd like to have that conversation about Math 7 that we said we were going to have, and I would really like to see it added as an option for our students.
Thank you, Trustee Messier. I do want to point out that we have tried to increase the number of options over the last few years. So this year alone, we're adding 11 new classes for students across multiple subject areas, from personal finance to art, so that students like the one you referenced are able to follow their passion. In terms of Math 7, our math committee is working right now, and we have recommendations coming up. I personally have reservations with making a recommendation for Math 7, and I'll tell you why. My reservation for Math 7 is that I feel like we are able to support our students in grade 7 in that curriculum and then provide a reasonable choice for parents in 8th grade, where they can have a chance to say, before something goes on their transcript, they can have a chance to say, I'm opting for Math 8 or I'm opting for algebra. So we have put in plenty of supports. We have done a great deal of work revamping our curriculum that our 7th grade teachers like. They participated in and had a powerful voice in that sense. I personally am not comfortable making the Math 7 recommendation at this point. Our math committee still continues to work. I haven't heard that they are planning on making the Math 7 recommendation, But I do want to tell you that I support the idea of making new options. In terms of the high school, one of the things you talked about was the statistics class and the math concepts class. And you referenced the point where you talked about if students don't drop out of college if they don't have 4 years of math. That math concepts class is particularly designed for grade 12 because it preps them for some of the things they might face in those first year math classes that they might see in college. So that's one of the reasons that we have tried to say to parents, and juniors can take it, seniors can take the math concepts class. We prefer if seniors take it because it's more geared to what college is going to be, particularly if a student might have to take a math placer assessment that some colleges ask students to take before they decide what math ultimately they can go into. But we also will have the math statistics class, which is, while it's more conceptual in nature, it's also more hands-on, and we try to put it into practical applications. So that is my response to that. We will have an in-depth conversation about math as a whole in June when the committee comes back and does that.
Can I just make one more quick comment? Sorry, just to your point, thank you. And I understand what you're saying, and I understand your reservations. But I also just want to leave with the idea of what I'm hearing is that this is what we feel, as in this is what the administration feels. Our stakeholders are telling us something different. And I think it is time that we know what best practice is, we know what the options are, we know what New York State says is and is not available. But we also know what our stakeholders are telling us, our families and our students. And I really wish that we could bring that voice into our decision-making because I think it is important. That's it. Thanks.
I appreciate that. We've worked really hard to try to hear the voices of our constituents, whether it's through student surveys, through focus groups like the board has done and that I've done. And we've also done climate surveys, which the next climate survey is coming up. That'll come out in April. So there's plenty of opportunity between that and the fact that we've added 10th grade guidance meetings, parent-teacher conferences at the secondary level for parents to share their voices, engage in a conversation that's specific to their child. Again, we want to talk about parents as partners in this conversation. And of course, we try to do our best to work with parents that have concerns or might have questions about what's the best option. So thank you for that.
If I just could chime in.
Sure.
I think there's so much that we agree on, right? We all agree we don't want students to struggle unnecessarily. We certainly want students to have access to the highest quality curriculum and strong instruction, and math is so important to get right. We all agree on that, right? It's not just a subject, it's a language, it's a way of understanding the world around us. It's so relevant, especially the standards and the skills that you're talking about in these middle school years. And while I very much appreciate the math review that has been going on, just as the ELA review went on last year, we have been doing this. And I think that's important to note that the high school team, the middle school team, particularly I can speak to the high school team, implementing new math options just in, it just seems like yesterday to me, but it was maybe the 2020 to 2021 school year. So really, if we, think about how it was fully implemented in person, it was probably the 21-22 school year. And that IB math that Mrs. Messier referenced, there was a new option offered at that point, which was a 2-year span of a math applications course that had not been, right? So I had 4 of my own kids go through the high school. An option came for the younger 2 that wasn't there when the older 2 went through. So I think there is and has been a sort of, constant iteration and an open-mindedness to making sure that we are allowing students on-ramps and off-ramps. And, we could talk all day about what colleges are looking for and what careers are looking for in terms of math skills. We won't agree, but we have to live in the reality of what students need and what colleges are looking for by the time of their application. And I think that the high school team and the curriculum department has been looking through all of these requirements, options, on-ramps, off-ramps. Other high schools offer, even more than calculus, right? There are schools that offer differential equations and linear algebra, and opening up a world to students is certainly what we want to be doing. And I agree that moment in the focus group was great, right? Because if you have had enough experience in a subject to know whether it's for you or not for you, that's a great sign, right? That students feel comfortable in their choices and supported in whatever choices they choose to make. So I just wanted to say that about that particular point about the 2-year math applications. And, students are going to continue to need math in some regard, and I think that they're showing us in the high school, was it Dr. Walsh who presented back in November, that so many, 80-something% of the graduating class was taking college-level math courses. So I think that we are building foundational skills that are continuing, and there was an outrageous number of our students who continue to take physics, right? And that's also math. There's problem solving going on. There's equations going on there. So I think it's important to point out that there's a lot of success, and I think we need to look at that as well.
If I could just add too to Dr. Downing, I know she's giving such a good perspective of high school since she had 4 students already go through and complete. I haven't, but I have had 2 students go, one currently at the middle school, but another that went through it. And I just want to compliment the math departments in the middle school, which are very strong department, very communicative. I encourage, if there are parents that have questions about this, they are very accessible. They send out regular emails to parents about what the coursework is. Parent-teacher conferences, I noticed guidance counselors were available. So if there are parents that have questions about this, I just want to highlight that the math teachers at the middle school in particular, to kind of balance out Dr. Downing saying about what's offered at the high school, are just really an amazing set of teachers, and I would encourage any parents that have questions to avail themselves to those meetings and phone calls and guidance counselors, because they are a wealth of knowledge.
Thank you. Anything else on the budget presentation? Okay. Turning to policies. At stage 1, we have 3310, public access to records. Any comments or questions on 3310? Okay to move this?
Yes.
Yes.
7121, also at stage 1, screening of new entrants. Comments or questions on 7121?
Just in the first paragraph, I know we made an edit with may be gifted or is an English language, I think it should be learner, ELL, without the plural in that line. Just I
Yes.
think we strike the plural.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay to move this with that modification?
Yep.
At stage 2, we have 6130, evaluation of personnel. Okay to move this?
Yep. Do we have any reason to think this will change again in the very near future, or is it far enough away from approval?
Well, I can't speak to exactly how that's going to play out,
Right.
given that it is New York State, it is the legislature and the budget process. Right now, there are negotiations between the legislature and the governor about how this is going to play out, and APPR is one of the things that is going to be mixed into this. If we need to change it, one of the new components is that it would have to be collectively bargained. It would be something that you would have to bargain with your teachers unit about how APPR would take place and evaluation would take place. So, but they gave us 7 years to do it. If it passes as it is right now, they give you 7 or 8 years. I can't remember exactly. It's one of those two. But it was far enough for a horizon for people to engage in constructive conversation with teachers about what is a good way to make sure that we are, holding people accountable through evaluation, but at the same time doing it in a supportive way that encourages growth.
And that maintains local control.
Correct.
I would think, right? That's-
Correct.
Has to be priority.
Yes. Okay to move this?
Yes.
Also, at stage 2, we have 7530, child abuse and maltreatment. Okay to move this?
Yes.
At stage 3, we have 7120, age of entrance. Okay to move? Thank you. Mr. Gavin, we have acceptance of a gift this evening.
We do. Dr. Zular informs me that we have the gift of a number of different frames of sizes for our art and photography department from Ms. Cusick. We are glad to accept it. As the board knows, we have a number of displays for our children's artwork in not only the boardroom, but also throughout the district, and we look forward to using those frames in new ways to show off our kids' work.
That's great. Thank you very much to Ms. Cusick. Can I have a motion to accept the gift?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you again. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes as listed on the agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve financial reports as listed on the agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve receipt of financial reports as listed on the agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve board actions 1 through 5?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Our next meeting will be a regular meeting, April 4th.